Over the last 10 months, I've crafted an all-in-one community using Circle.so, and there are thousands of creators across the globe using their platform. And so today, I'm going to show you a video and really discuss why I chose Circle as the platform for my online community, why I decided against using platforms like Facebook groups, Experientify, and a Discord server, and all of which I have tried. I've paid for them, I've built on them, and then unfortunately I abandoned. And I know many of you probably have felt buyer's remorse. It's a real deal when we buy something that doesn't meet our expectations. So I want to share today how Circle has met all of those expectations that I had and I had hoped for. Now, they're not perfect, but let's go ahead and jump in. Now, I'm sure you can agree that many creators are getting burnt out on social media. And as a Web3 creator, I now recognize the importance of owning my own data, owning the space that my community is on, and not having to pay to play in this game of algorithms such as Facebook groups. And when I looked at Circle, I found it super appealing. All of the different features of which I had been searching for on other platforms. And I hope to provide just enough information for you to decide if Circle is a good choice for your own online community, and how I see the future of digital spaces and growing in solopreneur biz that supports you. Now, over the past few years, there have been a shift towards interest-based and cohort-based communities rather than living in communities on a social feed. And this change has led to a surge in the popularity of Reddit and WhatsApp, Discord servers, and Telegram communities. And as a result, I think we will continue to see that shift, my friends, of people trying to really connect and create safe spaces with like-minded individuals. And there are different strokes for different folks, but if you really want to create a private community or a digital-based space, the question then becomes, what is best for you and your consumers' end goal? Now, as the owner of an online immersive ecosystem called the Growth Guild Collective, the community elements to my courses and content is critical in a noisy, post-dramatic growth world in which we need more psychological safety. And I believe that when we build together, we heal together. And after all, if I really think about the name Growth Guild, it is the very essence of the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So as we jump in, you may see your own story in mine. And I'm not new to technology. I've lived a life of hopping from one to another platform. And no matter your choice, having a solid offer and working the plan always comes first. So I preface by saying that because my intention is not to diss other options. They just weren't really a great fit for me after testing them. So in the past, I had been using, as I mentioned, Facebook groups. I started with Facebook groups like many do, but over the years, the saga, it turned into being an unethical, let alone feeling the pain of tons of lost time due to the algorithms and the pay to play schemes that I never really knew if I was getting the information out to my community, let alone the dings and the bings and the chaotic right hand. I'm searching what other people are doing on Facebook while I should be focusing on the content. Next, I had invested in Experientify for my courses and Discord for the tokenized portion of my tokenized community, in which is powered by the seed coin. So I'll start with Experientify, which is a great gamification course. It's a platform and I found that as someone with ADHD and someone who supports ADHD creators, I found that the dopamine hits sold as tactics of surprise and delights to get the students to actually finish the course way too overwhelming. Now, we understand that stats say that only 3% of people finish courses, which is entirely true. I will tend to buy courses with the intention of not finishing them, but extracting really what I need. And so after spending 9 months trying to get all the dings and the XP points to make sense for me to share with my community, I just felt overwhelmed. So while gamification can be effective in certain contexts, there are some situations where it may not be appropriate or could even be detrimental to the community experience. So in short, gamification can be distracting from learning objectives. It can be inappropriate for certain types of subjects. For example, I do a lot of trauma-informed group work. And so gamifying all the little things that we do really needs spaciousness and nervous system calmness within the ecosystem. So it just really wasn't suitable for all of my learners. And lastly, it can really put pressure on people by setting them up for unrealistic expectations. And so as a somatic practitioner, it just overwhelmed my nervous system overall. So if it did that for me, I didn't want to really push that on my community, and it didn't any longer fit the ethos of my purpose, even though I loved all the features and the psychological reason behind it, it just didn't work. So, small note here. One way I will be using gamification with Circle is using their awesome analytics. Now, you can use their analytics as a leaderboard. I've seen many people in communities do it, and they celebrate their community's growth by applauding people that are ahead in the leaderboard. So there are ways that you can gamify in Circle, in addition to how I will be using different finish-based processes with the seed coin, but then just connecting it through Zapier because it's open AI or open API. So next we'll move into Discord. I had been using it for my tokenized portion, and I was thinking that it was the only way that I could connect digital blockchain assets. And as time evolved, it continued to be a struggle to get people to engage because, number one, my consumer really wasn't that big on using Discord. And number two, it is a list view. So it's just copy and you stream and stream and stream. And so for neurodiverse individuals, I really value really beautiful, clean block images so that they can find where to go in the community. So again, as far as Discord, I now just use Circle and I connect my seed coin with Zapier so that I can bless them for reaching their goals. So you can see that the rising reason for me is that Circle really is this beautiful asynchronous platform. Now, asynchronous means it's a place where it serves as an online nourishing water hole is how I like to explain it. It's an evergreen space, it's fluid, and it allows my members to come in and check it out once a day or every so often without feeling like we're always missing out on a conversation. FOMO, and specifically if you have ADHD, those sensitivities around wanting to be everywhere, doing everything all the time and not missing out is a real hazard for our brains. So really having all my assets in one place, such as learning, resources, references, my courses, all in a powerful centralized place really helped me stop from having all of my assets all over the place, and it confuses people, and confusion does not sell. So for many, after we upload everything into a platform, we step back and we have that moment of confrontation, that moment of, I don't have enough, right? But really what we can do, and what I did, is once I got everything into Circle, I could really see all of the things that I did have. In fact, it was way too much. And it helped me compartmentalize the brand, the story, and the path that I wanted to reconfigure for my community. And as creators, just like our brains and our work, it can be divided into two stages. We've got divergence and convergence. Now, divergence is this stage where you consider many different possibilities and options. And once you make a commitment with a community platform, trust me, trust that you'll go from this free-form, explorative process to all the possibilities that exist, like I did on Circle. It was so fun to see everything that was available. But over time, I allowed that space, and the convergence is the stage where you start actually eliminating options. Once you get into Circle, you'll see on their left-hand side, the space groups, the spaces, the courses. You'll start to see where there's excess. And it'll allow you to give yourself permission to cut off certain pathways, remove certain parts and pieces of content for your community that simply add and they don't create more clarity. And that's one thing that Circle really did for me. When I jumped into Circle, I thought, okay, this is going to be my website, it's going to be my landing page, my payment processing, my community chat, the video, in which I'll go over in just a moment. And it did become that. And that's what I desired. And that's what I got. And now I can really see where I can turn things off and where I can start different journeys for different people that are coming into my ecosystem by removing and clearing a path for them based on all the information I had in all of these other places now housed in one space. So as you upload, remember, you can upload, you can filter, and overall just really distill only what your community needs. And there's such an advantage of having all of this content, courses, conversations in that one place where you can arrive at a final point, a final destination, which is huge because that's the overall goal, right? To get our consumers to where they desire to go. So one thing here that I really want to point on, and I'm so elated about, is Circle recently added workflows. Now, think of workflows like playbooks. They have all different ways that you can look at their playbooks, their suggestions for onboarding your clients and your members, which is so huge. And first impressions are so important. And as a solopreneur, this is key because I can't be everywhere all the time, but allows me to really personalize special little notes. And I love getting feedback when people write me back because it's working. People are responding, and that's what we want. We want engagement. So you can really take advantage of Circle's workflows to help your community at least move through each stage towards that final outcome and to really reduce the burden of overwhelm. So those are some of the personal reasons. And now I'll kind of just wrap it up in all of the beautiful, robust, yet easily to use versatility of their features. Now, these features I found super, super helpful. So let's dive in. It has a very intuitive interface. Circle's design is clean, it's minimal, it's inviting. And from the moment you look at Circle's community, you totally get it. The navigation makes perfect sense, and it just invites you to jump in to a discussion. And so the interface is, again, easy to use, it's visually appealing, and also you can customize the look. So on the left-hand side, you can match your branding, your colors, you can white label. And this was really important to me, that I could make the community visually seamless with all the other areas across the social streams that I share my content, for instant verification that, yep, there's the brand, there's the community, and it's consistent. And that's huge in branding. Now, Circle certainly delivered in the customization department. You will see that there's so much more that you can do with customization. Moving on to spaces management. Circle is organized around spaces and space groups. Each of these has its own controls for how you view them, who is allowed to have access, and what features are enabled. So this granular control allows me to create spaces that meet my community's specific needs. For one community, I'm helping humanitarians with AI. For the AI Healers Hive, I'm showing healers and change makers how to optimize and productize their genius using the latest AI technology with my prompt garden, which has a plethora of personalized prompts just for that niche. So it dissolves the overwhelm everywhere and just gives them what they need. And it also allows the overwhelm from everything on that left-hand side to only be seen by what's accessible to that member, making it clean and clear on where to go and what they have access to. So next is the events engine and the capability to RSVP. Now, someone that is on the move, when I get an email from Circle or my other communities I'm in within Circle, I absolutely go open that, I go right into the community and I RSVP. Then I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to get my notification that I need. So Circle basically handles all the events. It's so awesome because people can quickly RSVP to your event, be notified when it starts, and there's no complicated calendar integration. It just works. So we're all busy, and the notifications in the app is something I wanted to just make a point on. It saves me every time. Now, you would think that the notification would be in a pain in the butt. Yes, they can be, but you, the consumer, the member, can turn them off, as well as the community admin can also turn them off for certain things. But I will say, as someone that's neurodiverse, I'm managing 3 businesses at once. When I see a community that I've invested in, and my friend Tom, right, from the Learn community is going live, or Circle is having a Q&A hour and they're going live, it's not always on my radar. But when I see it come on my app and I'm on the go and I'm free, I can instantly hop into the live session. And it's just smooth. It just works, my friends. So that feature alone eliminates the need for us to use external tools like Zoom. Now, as I mentioned, the iOS app, this, again, like I said, has saved my tushy, because the iOS app is great on the phone. I love it when I see the other members go live. I can hop in. I can also manage my group on the go. And I have everything accessible right there for me and all the other communities that I participate in. So I've invested in, if I have the free time, I can hop right in and get what I need and hop back out, as well as filter all the other communities that I'm in, but aren't shown in my visual receptivity. Whereas in Discord or Facebook, you have everybody's communities overwhelming your attention all at once. So the clean interface makes me present with the community that I'm in, and I'm not getting bombarded by other people's content. Now, the last piece, as far as the features that I wanted to kind of really highlight, is the paywalls, because you can use Circle to create all of your course paywalls, your membership paywalls, coupons, one time, monthly. It has full versatility, and it's all within the admin app. So you can really create that paid community without having to use additional systems. And so hopefully, my friends, this review of Circle have given you some of the feedback that you may have needed or had questions about when starting a community. Now, there are a lot of platforms out there, and Community is great. They give you a 14 free day trial, which I highly recommend. Just jump in, have fun, and join the Circle community because they're so helpful. I have to give a big shout out to Pedro because I just messaged that man and he gets back to me within, I'm like maybe 2 to 3 hours. And he's so kind and so gracious for all the people that they are managing in the back end. So these are just a few things. And I really don't have anything to complain about with the software because I honestly can say, as someone who uses Circle for my current pursuit of not only building in public with my community, it has really helped me understand the robustness and the value of an asynchronous community, especially as individuals with ADHD, because we need time and space to jump in and jump out and not feel like we're rushed. And that's really what I wanted for my community without all the fuss. So the crazy thing is this: I have saved so much money when I switched to Circle because I was able to eliminate so many monthly fees for services like webinars, my Zoom, my course hosting, etc. Because Circle has it all there. The features are all built in. So I'll run through the pricing for you real quick. So we've got $49 at this time a month for your basic plan. It's $99 a month for the professional plan, $249 for the business plan, and $399 for the enterprise. Again, you can sign up for their 14-day free trial. And I personally, if you're curious, I'm at the professional plan because I really wanted those workflows, which take a ton of time off your hand and make sure that you have a brilliant and beautiful onboarding process for your community. So I'm going to close up and I'm going to give you one last tidbit and just a tip as far as creators in business and entrepreneurs. So I think the hype with cohort courses and communities is sometimes the wrong message. It's really popular right now, but really think about what you personally provide your community. And when we're moving from one-to-one or single courses right into group coaching or right into a cohort group, most entrepreneurs want to go from one-to-one to offering this big group coaching program. But I would highly suggest starting with housing your offers, your messaging, and your digital products. So one thing that I love and what I'm doing and finding so useful with Circle is that my digital products and all my courses are evergreen. They can be there to help me generate funding for all the things that I am doing in my business, while also filtering in new community members. And when they land, they see the digital product, but they see the free assets and this entire growth ecosystem of action guides and resources that are really divvied out in the correct spaces for them to explore. And what do they think of next? Well, I wonder what it would be like if I had personal support and these group hypnotherapy to help me really become a high efficient entrepreneur, right? So that's what I do. I help entrepreneurs resolve their entrepreneurial trauma, stop going 10 miles wide and go 10 miles deep. And that's what Circle is allowing me to do, which is really, really important to my heart. And digital products, they basically just create your cash flow, which you can drive and grow your audience. And then you guessed it, like I said, when you have a new audience, you can fill your community. And over the long run, that's when you can really start monetizing your coaching programs or group cohorts. You don't need to do it right away, even though everybody's trying to sell that to you. It evolves over time. So be patient with yourself. So the last thing I'm going to share about building in public is really the fact that despite the fact that our brains haven't changed biologically for 200,000 years, the average modern human consumes what's equivalent of 174 newspapers a day, and that's front to back. And again, this is where Circle comes in, helping distill the content from years of hard work into small learning quests that are segmented, that are in the appropriate areas, that are of interest, where my live group hypnotherapy sessions can be housed for live sessions, but the courses are in another area. It's all for a specific personalized path so they can get to their desired destination. That is what the Growth Guild is about. It's about going deep and really fulfilling the transformation in our lives, because I believe that when we build together, we heal together. So I'm going to leave this quote, and maybe it will touch you in behalf of the Growth Guild, is that this is a perennial garden where all peers to peers are equal value. And because a garden is always a place of becoming, it's a place to make and tend one as a gesture of hope that these seeds planted will sprout and grow. This tree will bear fruit, that spring will come, and so probably will some kind of harvest. It's an active, deeply invested participation in our future. And I always read that and I just want to go plant a bunch of roses. But just know that success isn't static. It's not an isolated state. Success is an ever-evolving, multifaceted, complex, interconnected identity of all of these different dynamics coming together, where we can really balance between enough and more, which is why each of us has decided what success actually means to us and how we achieve that when creating our communities. Be mindful of what you're creating, because once you've gathered it all and you've created that success point, just know that you also have to manage it. And Circle has created the ease of that for me. And so I hope that you found this tutorial and my personal thoughts on how Circle has really provided me an ecosystem and really a growth guild where the sum is greater than all of its parts of all of my community together as we build the AI Healers Hive, where we learned how to do prompt engineering, the future of healing and immersive experiences, the plethora of courses I've built over the years, the chat features, the live features, all in one place. And that is what gives me a peace of mind as new technologies come out every single day. I have everything I need. And the advancement of the Circle team and how they're keeping up in the future also gives me that peace of mind. So huge thanks to Circle team. Make sure that you grab the 14-day trial if you haven't tried it. All my love, all my light, and I'd love to know your feedback. Leave it in the comments.